So we are in front of Miss Freedom at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. And Miss Freedom has a bit of story. Miss Freedom was the figurehead that was made for the schooner Freedom, an 88-foot schooner. And it turned out that this 450-pound figurehead was a little too heavy for Freedom. And
why was it too heavy?
they said that it made the bow top heavy. So they ended up removing it, and it went to the U.S. Naval Academy Museum. And there, the cadets took a particular liking to it. And
I wonder why.
Found that rubbing the bosoms brought them luck.
What? Seriously, Stephanie. Rubbing the bosoms?
Rubbing the bosoms.
You sound like you're like 80 years old. Their breasts, okay?
So they would come here before exams or if they had a date. And it turned out that one of the mothers heard about this, and she was not particularly fond about it. So Miss Freedom has ended up here now at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. We can see it. We leave Tangier Island early this morning because we have over 70 nautical miles to cover. Our first destination is to pass by Solomon's Lump Lighthouse that marks the entrance to the Kedges Straits. Solomon's Lump Lighthouse has a caisson foundation and it sits 47 feet above the waterline. It originally consisted of a square tower and an octagonal keeper's dwelling. This lighthouse was manned until 1950, and in 1971 the dwelling portion of the lighthouse was demolished, leaving only the brick tower. Thus, this is the reason why the current structure looks rather lopsided. After passing Solomon's Lump Lighthouse, we head north up the Chesapeake, then into Choptank River, followed by Broad Creek, and finally into San Domingo Creek.
So Stephanie, where hell am I taking you?
We are going to San Domingo Creek. There are no marinas there, so just a secluded anchorage, so it should be quiet.
The way I kind of looked at it is it's the back door to St. Michael's. St. Michael's has a great marina, and this little anchorage is on the other side of the peninsula in a creek, and we can walk to St. Michael's. And it's going to be a good 3 or 4 days up at
San Domingo Creek and St. Michael's.
Right.
We head up San Domingo Creek and anchor as close as we can to the public docks in St. Michael's.
We are anchored in San Domingo Creek near the public pier.
The water here is very shallow, and we find that we have about a mile dinghy ride to the public dock.
So we're entering the St. Michael's Nature Trail.
So we're going to have a conversation about the Wizard of Oz, since this pole looks like the Tin Man. You have 3 dogs, and what are the characters they best match for the Wizard of Oz?
So I guess that makes me Dorothy, though I don't have red shoes. So Anubis here, who is Miss Frady Dog, would be Lion. Nuala here, who's heartless and fearless, would be the Tin Man. And Mocha here, who's the sweetest dog of all, would be the Scarecrow.
No pets on this one.
I believe no pets. So we'll have to go up one at a time. You want to go up first?
Do that, or we can just leave them here and they'll hang out.
The Hooper Strait Lighthouse originally sat on a screw pile frame. It was moved to the museum in 1966 to prevent its demolition.
This is actually put in the water, so the only way to get in and out was by sea. Well,
By sea,
either
and then the ladder.
and then also they had a boat to use.
Looking down at the Winnie still. They definitely take nice care of it. That beautiful bench they have even.
I know.
I want a picture in front of the lighthouse. Here's a log canoe. So what can you tell us about the log canoe?
They come in many different type of sail configurations.
A basic canoe, and then you're just upgrading it from a canoe by putting some sails on it.
And you actually use the thickness of the actual wood as ballast.
Nice selection of boat
I
memorabilia.
used to have one of these too.
Oh, knapsack?
Exactly like that.
So this reminds you of what you had when you had your boat growing up? That's our life jacket. In just what direction do you want us to move our lines? There are houses on every shoreline and every creek. Maybe you should have built your house in the middle of the woods somewhere.
The bell
Ship's
is
time.
in this tower rings every half hour to mark the passage of time. On ships, sailors typically stood watch for 4 hours at a time. The ship's bell would be struck every half hour in a 4-hour pattern. So you knew when your shift was on and when your shift was up. So it was 8 bells at 12, one
and again
bell
at 4.
and it went all the way to 8 bells every 30 minutes and then start over again.
When 8 bells sounded, a sailor's watch was over and he could return to his bunk.
Rescued 2 Newfoundland puppies from a sinking British ship and brought them home. This is a Maryland family.
Mixed with local dogs.
Yeah, mixed with the local Indian dogs.
That's how you got the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. One of the more fascinating boats was the sink box, in which hundreds of decoys were set out on the waterline.
A goose the size of... I guess they didn't have any depth perception.
I don't think they were fooled into thinking that was an actual goose. It was probably just they liked the shape of it. A shanty. Tool shed, workroom, and gathering place. It is where he plans the season, prepares gear, tends his catch, tells tales with friends, and on occasion just hides out.
So crab potting, scraping, and trot lining. He was trot lining.
An anchor at each end keeps the line on the bottom where crabs feed, and floats allow the waterman to find his line. So what do you think of the waterman's shed?
It's very cool.
I was asking the dogs. They think it's cool too.
They think it's cool too. Exactly.
Yes, it's hot out today. It's a pretty nice collection. Those oysters.
Now you go and you get a little tin this big.
I know. Those are huge cans.
Maryland Beauty. I like
Looks
this
like
one.
Elvis.
American Beauty brand.
Maryland Beauty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, raw oysters. These are the Navy Point houses that they restored.
Look, come over here. I'm gonna take a picture of this.
So guys, what do you think of Miss Freedom?
Hey Mocha, are they top heavy?
Oh, who just wants bets?
I am so impressed with this. This is awesome.
Learning how to be good dog parents.
So you could just come along and kind of jump off the training. Not that you haven't done a lot of training yourself, but teaching you how to heel one at a time. Then progressing at your 3 at a time. And off leash. Can I get a picture in front of a cannon?
Come. Okay, come. Sit. What the lady said they sell a lot of?
And that's not mine.
Yes. I ordered Stephanie a beer and she ordered me a beer. Unknowingly.
strawberry shakedown.
Really?
It's called a strawberry shakedown.
I don't even know if I tasted any strawberry. Oh, it's got aroma of strawberry.
Yeah, this one does definitely taste citrusy.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I know, now she wants to play.
Come on, Anubis. You guys are pulling.
Some of the boats have come back.